This is the BG Climbers for the week ending 10/5/2022. This list is put together every week by Michael Alexander. I'll include links in the description below if you want to take a look at this. But let's get into it. We're going to start with actually number 11 this week, which is Oathsworn. So I added this game because I guess this is the first week in a while where it hasn't been on the top 10. But since we're watching it, and this is clearly going to be a top 100 game at this point, I just wanted to include it on this list. And also mention, I think the next Kickstarter is the 18th. So if you missed the first one, I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the biggest Kickstarters in a in a while. Maybe on the Frosthaven type level. I think it's a possibility. I don't know if it's going to be that big, but the game is getting amazing reviews. It's rocketing up the ratings here, and I'll probably be backing it just because I don't think it's going to retail at this point, at least not with the Kickstarter style game. Maybe it will come to retail in some sort of form or a pared down package. I mean, who knows? Maybe without all the miniatures and stuff, possibly. Gloomhaven-esque. Anyway, Oathsworn in the Deepwood, number 11. Clearly going to be a top 100 game. I mean, if it continues at this rate, it's going to be a top 10 game for sure, assuming it sells enough copies. Number 10, Trekking Through History. So we've seen this one a number of weeks. The game is very appealing to me. I haven't seen it in retail yet. I don't think I saw it on, I know Target carries Trekking Through the National Parks, I think. But I'm going to keep an eye out for this and probably pick it up at some point. I think my kids like some of the history books, and I think that this is a cool way of teaching a little bit of history and also playing a game. So number 10, Trekking Through History. Number 9, Sea Salt and Paper. So this is interesting. This was on the list last week. It looked interesting but strange. I didn't think it was going to do that. Obviously, it's not going to skyrocket up the list, but it is getting a lot of interest. Not very strong ratings, but a lot of people are trying it out or at least taking a look at it. I mean, we may see it for a couple more weeks, and then I think we probably will not see it again on this list. So number 9, Sea Salt and Paper. Number 8, Flamecraft. So this one, as expected, I think the rating has been coming down to the mid 7s. I think that the game's available in retail. I think it's going to do well on its art and I think simpler gameplay, but I don't see this hitting the top 100. I mean, with the rating coming down to 7.6 already, I think it's going to drop further and probably. I think it's going to be top 500 game, maybe top 250 if it does really kind of stays in the mid 7s. So number 8, Flamecraft. Number 7, Terraforming Mars. So this is interesting. About a month ago, it dropped to number 6, and I mean sometimes this happens where either a bunch of new people play it or it gets a bunch of new ratings. Sometimes after it drops, it gets an influx of ratings. And as you can see here, in the last month, it's gotten about 1,000 ratings. And that's not too different from the previous month. So, 1,000 new people rating it each month. The Bayesian average is coming down a little bit as the ratings probably aren't as strong as they were in the past. And a lot of people are checking out Ark Nova as well, which has some similar vibes, Terraforming Mars, and I think some better artwork. I guess I haven't played the game yet, but I will try it, hopefully, at BGGCon. So number 7, Terraforming Mars. Number 6, Twilight Inscription. So this is the Twilight Imperium roll and write. It's actually doing decent on the ratings. I think it's maybe the biggest roll and write experience or the heaviest roll and write experience. I think it has 4 sheets of paper that you play on, and I guess it's trying to take Twilight Imperium into the roll and write experience. The reviews are kind of mixed on it. Some people really like it, some people don't. I would say not as strongly positive as the Twilight Imperium game itself. Where do I think this is going to land? Probably outside the top 100. I think it'll get a lot of uptake this year at the conventions, but I don't think it's going to have a strong staying power or be able to maintain its momentum in the top. Number 6, Twilight Inscription. Number 5, My Shelfie. So this game is on Board Game Arena. I think it had a really cool concept. We looked at it last week. I think the artwork looks decent, and I think putting books on a shelf is kind of unique. The ratings itself is not looking too strong, though. I think it'll have some appeal, but it looks like, unless something changes before the retail, or I don't know if it's Kickstarter or if it's already at retail. Actually, let's actually take a look at this and see. I think it was Kickstarter. No, okay, upcoming releases. So it had some unique things. It kind of has this. It's almost like a Connect 4 type, stack. Artwork looks good. People maybe the Board Game Arena is not the final version of it. Maybe it really needs that physical presence to make the game. There are some games that are kind of like that, but I do think that it, unless something changes drastically, this is probably not a top 100 game, or probably not even a top 250 game. So number 5, My Shelfie. Number 4, Hamlet, the village building game. So this game has been on the hotness list for a while. I think it's an Essen release. Let's actually take this. Kickstarter, digital implementations on Tabletopia. It's got the solo mode by Nick Shaw and David Sirke. And the game looked very interesting. I think the artwork looked good. I think I like the unique wooden pieces. It's got a good box. It's got some 3D stuff going on, which I can take or leave with cardboard 3D stuff. I'm not a huge fan of that. But it looks like at least the people that have been rating it haven't rated it terribly good. Same as Kickstarter, had potential, but the in-game scoring was dragging it down too long. Definitely not a 4-player. Pleasant seller game with tiny icons. Initial rating after first play. So it gets, I think, decent ratings, but it isn't like amazing. Yeah. So common with Kickstarter games, there are interesting parts here, but the game needs a lot more work to actually being good. And that is something I found. There's been some Kickstarter games that I've gotten delivered, and it's like, wow, this wasn't entirely thought through the way it should have been. Play tested properly, etc. Because I guess while Kickstarter is good for funding things that may have not gotten funded, or having a stretch goal and really letting the person create their vision the way they saw it, it can also end up in a place where there's a lot of deadlines and a lot of people saying get the game delivered, and a lot of other things like instead of spending time designing the game, the person's going to be producing the game and getting all that stuff sorted out. So there's plus and minuses to Kickstarter. I think in some cases it works out really well. Gloomhaven's a great example of an amazing Kickstarter. I think Midara worked out really well. They barely got it done, but they created a game that worked really well, and among others. There's a lot of board game Kickstarters. But I've fallen into the place where some Kickstarters or I guess a lot of them just don't turn out the way you'd hoped, especially in board games. So number 4, Hamlet, the village building game. Number 3, ISS Vanguard. So this is on the list again. This game is doing really well. So I don't think I've watched or read any full reviews yet with the final version of the game, but this is getting delivered to a lot of people. I backed it because it looked very compelling, at least from the previews. And Awaken Realms does have a track record of delivering unique games. Not all are great, but they definitely, I think the majority of them are good, and they strive to do something different. I think with the games that they deliver. This game is a cooperative campaign board game, which I think at least the people I play with, we like cooperative games. We like kind of puzzly games, and campaign games not as much, but we do legacy games and so forth. So I think that this works well with the group that I play with. Although I do need to play Assassin's Creed, the board game. It's been delivered for like a year and I still haven't played it. Anyway, this game you're going to be flying the ISS Vanguard and I guess upgrading your crew, exploring planets, making a lot of choices, I think, and going through this story. I think, I guess if the game wasn't so heavy, this would be a game I'd play with my kids, but it's too heavy for that. I mean, I'm going to stick to like Stuffed Fables and simpler games. But I'm excited to try it out. I may not play through the whole campaign with the group. Maybe we'll play a couple missions and then we'll decide. But I do think this game is going to go do very well. I think that like a lot of Awaken Realms games, it has good artwork, good production, and I think unique stuff. So that's ISS Vanguard. And as you can see, it's already getting pretty strong ratings since it's been delivered. So you can see this is like the pre-Kickstarter delivery stuff. The first copies are getting into people's hands and getting played, and it's showing up above 9, which is, I think, extremely good for the first 400 ratings on a Kickstarter. I mean, it's not Oathsworn levels, but it's extremely good. Number 3, ISS Vanguard. Number 2, Horizons of Spirit Island. So this game was announced as a kind of introductory Spirit Island game. It takes all the mechanics of Spirit Island and takes it down a little bit in terms of spirit complexity, and I think in terms of some of the tricky mechanics of the game, and also takes the production value down a little bit, right? You have a board instead of this modular board. The tokens are still the same, but I think instead of these like little plastic cities and wooden huts and stuff, they're just cardboard tokens to make it a little bit cheaper. This game, to me, is going to do extremely well. I think that the Spirit Island formula is a really unique cooperative game. I think the theming of it attracts people. The artwork is really good, and the gameplay is solid. And with simpler spirits, I think this could be an accessible game for a lot of people. That is unique. I do plan on picking this up at some point. It's going to be available in a lot of places. I think it's only $30 retail, which is a great entry point into this Spirit Island genre if you're looking at it. Do I think this is going to be a top 100 game? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it will be, though, because it is a little bit lighter weight. Spirit Island's already a top 100 game. And I think a lot of people on Board Game Geek that are regulars on here are probably played Spirit Island and either like it or don't like it, and will be buying this as a expansion for the spirits or an introductory game for people they want to play Spirit Island with. But I'm excited about this one. So that is Horizons of Spirit Island, number 2. Number 1 this week, Catherine, the Cities of Zarnia. This game is not doing very well to start out with. I don't know what the history on this is. Had a lot of 2s. Maybe this actually looks like right before Kickstarter was delivered, so probably some Kickstarter delivery controversy. Is that what it is? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what's causing that. Let's see. That's actually kind of an interesting thing. Yeah. So Yeah, basically, okay, that's what it is. It's the theme of being a Russian leader with the war in Ukraine. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. Probably would have done them some good to not release this at this point. I think, whether it's a good game or not, it's just not the best time to be, releasing a game like this. So I think this one's going to struggle. Also, I think that at least glancing through the ratings, the people that have played it, it's probably not this amazing game anyway. So we will probably forget about this game in a couple years anyway. So this is the BG Climbers list for the week ending 10/5/2022. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe, and please take a look at our other videos. Thank you.